Nerderotic.com.
I might have mentioned once or twice in the past, a couple of times anyway, that I used to own a comic shop here in San Francisco. Owned it for 10 years from 2003 to 2013. It was called the Comic Outpost, and at this comic shop, I sold comic books. And one of those comic books was Birds of Prey, and now it's being adapted into, well, loosely adapted anyway, into a film starring Margot Robbie. And there has been a lot of debate on who is going to see this movie, who isn't going to see this movie, who this movie is for. Is anybody going to see this movie? Is it going to be a major flop? Well, I think it will be. And I think it will be because of all the reasons that a lot of you have been saying. The fake, woke, superficial marketing. But there's another major factor in this as well that at least factors in on getting the butts into the seats in the first weekend. But before we get started, if you like what I do here and you enjoy independent content here on YouTube, please consider subscribing to the channel and liking and sharing the videos. That is the only way independent content creators like yours truly and your favorite YouTuber can stay competitive against the giant corporations that YouTube has decided to prioritize on this platform. I am hearing every day that people are being unsubscribed from my channel. Now, this is because YouTube is currently doing their bot scrub, or they did it a couple weeks ago. So please, if you come across this video, make sure you are still subscribed as well. I thank you for your continued support, and I welcome all the new subscribers. Now, let's talk about Birds of Prey. And I know a lot of other people have done videos on this. I've done live streams on this. I like to go to Fandango a couple of days before a film comes out to really get a feel of how many people are actually going to go see it. Despite what Variety or Screen Rant or Cosmic Book News says. And I'm not passing any judgment on any of those sites. We are all into speculation. That's part of the fun of fandom. I know some people take it way too seriously. Now, I know some people criticize Cosmic Book News. But when you have Variety speculating just as much as they are you going to give them criticism as well? Because we have two articles here that say completely different things, but to be honest with you, Cosmic Book News is a little closer to the truth on this one than Variety, and we'll start right there. And in the comments section below, do tell if you have heard this one before. Film News Roundup, Birds of Prey sees strong first day pre-sales. In today's Film News Roundup, Birds of Prey is seeing impressive pre-sales. Now, we heard this with Black Panther, and it turned out to be true. That movie did pretty damn well. Then we heard it with Solo, and it turned out not to be true. Then we heard it again with Captain Marvel, and it turned out to be true. The source for all three of those movies was Fandango. But things changed with the fall of Skywalker when we started hearing this sourced from Atom Tickets. Fandango, of course, is owned by NBC Universal, and lately, it seems, Disney hasn't been using them as a source, or the Access Media hasn't been using them as a source. They decided to go to Atom now. Partially, I believe it's because it's a smaller app. I've personally never used it, but here's its history. Established in 2014, Atom Tickets Series A funding was led by Lionsgate, and their Series B funding was led by the Walt Disney Company, 20th Century Fox, so Disney, and Lionsgate once again, and The Rock. And good for him. Back to Variety. Pre-sales. Mobile ticket app Atom Tickets is reporting strong first-day pre-sales for Margot Robbie's superhero team-up, Birds of Prey. Birds of Prey sold more tickets on Wednesday, the first day of pre-sales, than Suicide Squad and Wonder Woman. I find that very hard to believe anywhere else, but maybe it's true on the Atom app. In the same time period, it's the third best first of day of pre-sales for a DC title behind Aquaman and Joker. Wow, that is just mental gymnastics. So it's the third best first of day pre-sales for a DC title behind Aquaman and Joker. Does that mean it's the third best title of a title that's behind Aquaman and Joker, or is it third best behind Aquaman and Joker? So what about Batman versus Superman? What about Justice League? Are you saying Birds of Prey outsold that? But you are saying it outsold Suicide Squad and Wonder Woman. What about Shazam? Are you saying it outsold that as well? The term third best first of day pre-sale reeks of internal corporate gobbledygook. Harley Quinn is a beloved DC character and the best part of Suicide Squad. one of the best parts, so fans are eagerly anticipating her headlining her own movie, said Alicia Grosso, editorial lead for Atom Tickets. And to state the obvious, the Disney-owned Atom Tickets does not care about a Warner Brothers film, but this is a commercial for Atom Tickets, free, provided by Variety. Audiences are far savvier now about comic book movies. Indeed they are. That's why they're not going to this one. More on that later. And an R rating no longer stops people from buying tickets. No, bad films do. Bad promotion does. Preachy promotion does. Idealistic promotion does. And a movie not looking like the comic book source material tends to keep comic book fans away. This is how simplistic Hollywood is. That's why I never thought they would truly learn the lesson of The Joker, which was quite simple, really. Have a fully fleshed out script before you go into production, give the director the power, hire a very talented actor, and limit the budget. So it forces the director and the creatives involved to be more creative. Instead, Hollywood sees, hey, it was a comic book movie that was rated R, starring a supervillain, so it has to do the same as the Joker, right? Fortunately, there are a few savvy people in Hollywood who did pick up on why the Joker was successful. And one of the major aspects of its success was not being woke, was just being a movie. That's it. So, when you see a movie like The Birds of Prey come out and they do that superficial fake woke marketing that Charlie's Angels did, that Terminator Derp Fate did, and what Dark Phoenix did. Now, again, that movie wasn't woke, but they released that one clip I'm sure you all remember, and that's what buried that film. Not that it was going to do great anyway, but that certainly didn't help. There's a real appetite for quirky, unique storytelling that breaks the mold, and Birds of Prey absolutely delivers on that front. And before we get to the other side of the ticket story quickly, we need to ask the question, who is this movie even made for? Because it's not made for the most important part of that audience, the comic book fan. The ones you want going to this film and spreading that word of mouth. The ones who actually know about the characters of Harley Quinn, Black Canary, Huntress Cassandra Cain, and Renee Montoya. They don't look anything like they do from the comics. Those costumes look terrible. They look worse than the CW. I've seen better cosplay at cons in Sacramento. There's also the marketing for this film, which again, it seems like Hollywood is still stuck in 2017, and you would think they would have learned their lesson by now. To bounding into comics, Ewan McGregor doubles down on misogynist marketing for Birds of Prey by John F. Trent. Ewan McGregor continues to double down on the misogynist marketing for the upcoming Birds of Prey film. McGregor's latest instance came during an appearance on The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon. Here we go. Brilliant. It's about time that we've got this female-made, female-driven superhero movie. It's a really powerful film. It was just exciting to be a part of a film that covers some of the misogynist nonsense that you ladies have to deal with on a daily basis. Now, I'm not saying fans of this film don't exist. In the interest of fairness, I did find 3 theaters where a lot of tickets sold for this film mysteriously, but if you consider it's in downtown San Francisco, and one of them is an IMAX showing, and that can show somebody going to the bathroom for 2 hours and people would go. I'm not too sure how many comic book fans or superhero fans, male or female, want to see a superhero film that's a study in misogyny, if that's indeed what we get. It could be just Ewan McGregor and Margot Robbie popping off. I haven't seen the film yet, but I would like to remind everybody out there, the vast majority of people who purchased the Birds of Prey comic at my shop were men. While comic book fans aren't the largest part of the audience, they're the most vocal, and in the case of Birds of Prey, they will be the most necessary based on the information I'm seeing just out there in the world. If you go to any Fandango right now and go check out any theater in your local town on opening night, you'll notice that Birds of Prey is not selling a lot of tickets. To the other side of the story from Cosmic Book News by Matt McGloin, exclusive Birds of Prey dead in the water. Following my articles about Birds of Prey tickets not selling, I've just been contacted by a source in Los Angeles that says the flick is dead in the water. while we simply have to check the online ticketing apps such as Fandango and Atom to see that no one is buying tickets. A source close to the movie theater industry in Los Angeles fills me in that there really are no tickets being sold for Birds of Prey. All the local theaters are dead in the water with pre-sale tickets, the insider says, who is connected to one of the largest theater chains in the Los Angeles area. Here are some of the shots from the article, and we can test this easily. Last Friday, on my Friday Night Tights live stream, we went on Fandango and checked here locally in the San Francisco Bay Area. You know, the 8th largest media market in the country, has about 10 million people in and around this large body of water. And in my local theater, and I am located in one of the biggest cities in California, San Francisco, it was empty. As a matter of fact, there was 3 tickets sold, and 2 of them were sold to me, so I can review the film with my lovely wife, Mrs. Nerdrotic. Now, I risk ruining a date night, but on the flip side, I can write it off. Now, I checked back on the Inquisition last Sunday, which is a live stream I do with Dictor Van Doomcock, Hail Doomcock, and no tickets had sold since I purchased those 2 the previous Thursday. These tickets on Thursday.
Uh-oh.
This is my theater. The 2 on the right are me, and there's the other bloke who's going. No tickets have sold. None. 0. Nada. Time of recording, 11:30 p.m. on Monday night, and I'm going to check right now to see how many tickets sold for the 6 p.m. showing at the Daly City Century 20, which is the only theater around San Francisco that has free parking. One of the most crowded theaters usually for superhero films and Fast and Furious films. So let's see if any tickets have sold in the last 24 hours. And the answer is no. 0 tickets sold in 24 hours, and we are 2 days away from this movie opening. Maybe, just maybe this time, Hollywood will learn its lesson. Although I said that with Dark Phoenix and Derp Fate. But maybe the 3rd time is a charm. I've watched the trailer for this. I've seen the fight scene. I wasn't impressed by either, but I have no idea whether I'm going to like this film or not. I will be reviewing it on this channel on the 7th, so look out for that. But it doesn't help when you have characters that look nothing like they do in the comics, nothing like Paul Dini and Bruce Timm's Harley Quinn or Chuck Dixon's Birds of Prey, which at one time was a good book, and I will say it was even good when Gail Simone bothered to take the time to write it. Considering this film didn't cost very much to make, and the cost of modern day tickets compounded with the skullduggery and tomfoolery we get from the movie studios with their ticket sales announcements through the Access Media, I can see this being possibly spun as a success. But that would mean people would have to actually go to your movie. Birds of Prey better pray for some last-minute ticket sales. The other sign that this film might flop is the review embargo that doesn't lift until the day before the film comes out. I usually like to make a Rotten Tomatoes video prior to a movie coming out, and I can't because no reviews exist. Will Birds of Prey fall prey to its fake, woke, superficial marketing and having a bunch of people calling themselves superheroes that don't look like them because the costumes aren't accurate? Yes, I'm stuck on that. We will find out. Until then, look out for my review. Please like, share, and subscribe if you like what you heard. If you didn't like what you heard, I thank you for listening this long. I will see you in the next video.
Nerderotic.com. Please subscribe.